Aloha, siblings. Today's video is going to be a bit of a mixed bag. I'm going to do part of it in the headset, so lo-fi, right? Mostly just this introduction. I don't know if I'll do much more than that. I might. I don't know. I will be using these back and forth. There's going to be a bit of show and tell because I have stuff I'm going to show. There's also going to be trigger because I'm going to be doing some. Why do I keep looking up there? I'm used to my webcam being there, but now I have this one here. So it's like, oopsie daisy. Let's wait. Nope. I want to go back. There we go. Thank you. See, it does that weird zoom thing. I have to be careful about gesturing with my hand. Anyway, so there. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but that's a new camera. I think it looks better. I'm hoping it'll help me, like with green screen stuff, better since it's, well, I don't know. We'll just see. Anyway, so what it's going to be is I found my old skateboard. So I didn't find the skateboard. I found the deck. So it's just the part of the skateboard that you stand on, right? So this bit, and I'll go into more detail of it in a minute. But I also bought some stuff to kind of put it back into shape. So, so the thing is, the Fiberflex was my first decent skateboard when I was, I think I was like 11. And I finally talked my mom into buying me something that was, actually good, as opposed to just, something out of some toy store. So I had the Fiberflex, and I had a set of trucks that were from a company called Bennett. They were Bennett Pros because they were just a little bit wider than the normal Bennetts. They're not super wide, so nothing like an independent, but anyway, they suited the Fiberflex, I thought. And then I had some, originally I had some red wheels on it. I ended up at one point buying 2 black and 2 yellow. Oops, hopefully the dogs aren't coming through, which will make sense later when you see the whole thing. I'll probably talk about that a little bit later when I'm doing the tapping and all that stuff. There's also going to be crinkling because some of the stuff is still in the bags that it came in. I didn't think to do an unboxing when the stuff came, so yeah, sorry about that. I'll try to remember that when I buy stuff I should do unboxings. Anyway, so I had a Fiberflex with Bennett Pros, and I don't remember the name of the original red wheels I had, but they were just red, kind of, I don't know, what, urethane or something, whatever they make these wheels out of, but it's kind of somewhat transparent, or not transparent, translucent, I guess is a better way of putting it. So anyway, I have the Fiberflex, which is the original deck from, let's see, if I was 11, that would have been 76. Yeah, I would have turned 11 in 76. Yeah. So this is like from 76. And, yeah, anyway, I did have another deck and a whole other skateboard, which was, and I got that a little while after this one, and it was a Dogtown West Humston, which was, 8-something inches wide, I think. And I had some independent super wides. I don't remember the millimeters on those back, so whatever super wide was from independent back in I got that deck, or that whole board, because I bought it in pieces, because for one, like, birthday I said, oh, could I have this? And then for one birthday I said, oh, could I have this? And ultimately I and then what I did is I took the black and yellow wheels from the Fiberflex, put them on the Dogtown, and then put the red wheels back on the Fiberflex, because the red wheels were smaller and kind of weird. They weren't suited for riding ramps, where the black and yellow ones were a little bit better for riding ramps. Just from the hardness and all that kind of stuff too. Is there anything else I want to talk about with this mess? No, so I'm not, well, I'll make some explanation when I'm going along, but basically I'm just going to show you parts, and I'm going to tap on stuff and crinkle some bags and the like. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then yeah, you can, just keep watching, I suppose. Okay, so you're going to just see some clippy little editing nonsense, and I'm going to take off the headset, and we're going to start using just the stereo mics. So here we go. Okay, so here's the stereo thing going, and here it is over here too. let's see. I'm going to start with, well, the deck, right? Just why not? So here's the bottom of it. Right? It's fiber. Well, why it's called a Fiberflex. Let's see if you can actually see it. I don't know if it'll work. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Okay, so it's a layer of fiberglass and another layer of fiberglass, and in between that is a very thin layer of plywood. So, right, it's, you know, it's supposed to be flexible and strong and all that and whatever. Yeah, it's, you can, yeah, I mostly used it for just riding around town. I did do a little bit of ramp riding here and there, but mostly this was just like a, you know, have fun, go around, you know, small ramps, and, you know, going downhill a little bit, whatever, you know, just sort of, I was never a guy into tricks, like doing ollies and stuff, mostly because when I was trying to learn it, to be honest, oops, there goes dogs. I had been working on trying to do ollies, and it was hard, and I was slow going in my learning, and the truth of it is it's just like, you know, I don't really want to do the tricks that bad. I just really didn't want to put in the time and effort to be able to do a trick. I just really, what I have fun doing is just riding the board, that whole sort of, you know, going down hills or going and over hills, and little rampy things going as you know, just sort of go around town. You can just kind of find things to do that are fun to ride on. The West Humpston board, I did a little bit of that too on that. But with the Dogtown West Humpston, that was for like when me and buddies would do, like, you know, one of my friends built a ramp, so we'd ride that. One time me and some friends snuck into a motel pool that they had drained to clean. They chased us out, but, you know, we got to ride for a little while anyway. Just stuff like that. But that's, so the Dogtown board, it being wider, was more stable for, you know, yeah, it was just more stable. Anyway, so let's do some tapping on fiberglass, shall we? So, just with the pads of my fingers. I quite like that. I think I'm going to try and leave a lot of space between my whispering and soft speaking stuff, because I know a lot of people just like tapping, so the whole video won't be just tapping, but I'll have some stretches where I'm not saying anything, but I'll be tapping. Oh, here, let's get both sides involved, shall we? Yeah, it's a good sound. I'm going to flip it over just for fun. It's going to sound more or less the same. I figure it's still just fiberglass. Oh, but there's also this. Is that any different? A little bit. now I'm gonna do some like this. I like this sort of. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that. Oops, I'm behind the skateboard, aren't I? Let me peek out, right? Alright, now I'm going to try it with my nails. And I'm going to go back to the yellow side just because it amuses me. That's pretty cool. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention is, okay, when I bought this stuff, and you'll see the rest of the parts and stuff, and then also I'll explain why it's in the state that it is. And back in the day, when you bought skateboard stuff, you usually got stickers too, right? So I did have a Gordon and Smith sticker that came with this, because Gordon and Smith, I think they started out as a surfboard company. I'm pretty sure of that. So I don't know if you can make out this little thing right there. That's the Gordon and Smith, logo there. So what I want is I want to get one of those. Okay, so the reason I want stickers is I want to put them on the bottom, right? A lot of guys used to do that. I did have stickers on my Dogtown. But for some reason I decided I didn't want stickers on this one, but I've changed my mind. Anyway, they didn't. None of the companies sent me stickers this time. So I got one. Because apparently, I must have bought something from Skate Kings online. All this stuff I bought online. Anyway, this is a sticker that came. Except for I don't think I'm going to put it on the bottom of the deck. I think I'll put this on my guitar case, frankly. But anyway, yeah, it's a sticker. Yeah, I know. I might come back to this a little bit later to do some more tapping. We'll see how long it takes me to, do all this. Okay, so here's the Fiberflex put away for a minute. Oh, I also know that I saw online I can get this whole logo here sticker, and I might put that on the bottom, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I keep looking up there because I'm used to my webcam being up there. All right. So what am I going to show next? I guess the trucks. So there's two of them, obviously. Plastic bag, crinkle it. So here's the two sets of trucks. So in case you didn't know, if you never ride skateboard, trucks is the things that connects the wheels to the board. It also is the mechanism that allows you to steer. So these are from a company called Bennett. Again, these I used to have Bennett Pros, but they don't make those anymore. This is called Bennett. They're called Bennett Vector. So out of the bag they come. Where should I probably set it here? I got it. That'll be fine. So I don't know if you can make that out. Bennett Vector. Right, there we go. And you can kind of see the geometry of the thing. Right, we have black truck with red rubbers, right? These little rubber bushing thingamabobs there, that's what gives it the flex to, when you lean it. So when you lean, the geometry of the thing, right, they have this pin here, the king pin, so that when you lean, the rubber in these, whoops, here we go, in this bit gives way, right, because it scoots, so it gets squishy, but as that happens, it forces the thing to do this, right? Can you see how that's going to work because of that? Like, well, here, maybe I can pull it and you can see. Yeah, a little bit here. So you can see how I pull it. And you can, I don't know if you can see it well enough. I don't know if I can make it clear enough. Maybe I should loosen this a little bit. Well, you know, I might worry about it later. I don't know whether, anyway, I think you get the idea. So I don't know, will this make any decent tapping noises? Let's see. Yeah, I guess so. It's basically just a tapping on a hard thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Here, maybe if I hold it differently. Yeah, it sounds a little bit more metallic, doesn't it? Anything metal around here? Close at hand. Oh, you know what? Here. Let me try a couple of different things just for fun. Many of you, if you've been to my live stream, you'll recognize this as the craft brush that I use on the live stream. For a lot of things here, I'll just give you like brushing the microphones, right? Yeah, that's a good one here. Gotta get this side too. My right, I guess your left, right? Well, assuming as I've set the mics up correctly, sometimes I screw up and get them mixed up on the interface. Anyway, I think, because this has this metal bit around here, let me see if that'll do something interesting. Not as much as I was thinking. Yeah, I guess that's a better sound than I realized, now that I'm listening to it for a few minutes. Let's see, is it better? Oh, that's interesting. Let's try the bottom too. I don't know, let me see. I know that's more or less the same, isn't it? As the tapping on it elsewhere. Let's see if this does a different thing. Okay. I might as well get out the other one too. I mean, tapping on it will be the same as tapping on this one, but you know, you might as well see both of them, right? Voila! You know, I'll crinkle those bags in a minute. There's a dog. Back. And I think I usually do like that kind of pace, right? Maybe I should try a little bit of slower stuff. I know some people like much slower tapping. Let's try that. this. Thanks. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to try tapping them together. What do you think? So here they both are, right? So they would go, if I got that right, they go the other way. I can't remember. Holy crap, I can't remember. I better remember before I mount them, huh? Because one way is for long boards and the other way is for just street boards. Or ramp boards. And everything other than the long board. Long boards a lot of times have the kingpin on the other side. Can't let a douchebag. I can't remember. Well, stop calling yourself names, dude. Alright, here we go. You know, one thing I just realized, one of the things people do is they do what's called a grind, right? Which means you go to a grind. I don't have anything I can show you on. Anyway, a lot of times you do it like, say, on a curb, right? So you go, you know, you can tell where the wheels go, right? So if you can kind of go so that like one wheel is below the edge of the curb, the other wheel is above the edge of the curve, and you kind of ride your board like, you know, that along it, and then you get grinds on the top of this part of, you know, that holds the axle, right? And although I don't know, because I like this so much, I might not do grinds on this. Maybe I'll get another cheap board for doing grinds and crap like that. I keep looking up there, jeez. I don't know. Maybe it's not that big a deal. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll report back later on. You know, if I decided to do grinds on these. Anyway, there's the two Bennett trucks. Bennett Vector is what the new thing, well, at least the choice I made. These are a bit wider than Bennett Pros. Not a whole lot, but, well, yeah, I guess they're pretty significantly wider, but, yeah. Anyway. Okay, what's next? Okay, I'll save those for later, and I'll save these for later because I don't feel like assembling anything today, but, okay, so, let's get these over here. So here's 4 wheels, 4 red wheels, right? Da, 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 da. And these are a suitable size for more like cruising and riding around than for really doing tricks. But, you know, that's what I wanted. I'm probably not going to be doing any tricks. Anyway, they're, you can see that they're kind of see-through a little bit. And there, can you see that? I mean, let's do this like, oops. Go this way, dude, there. Oh, it's the other way around. There we go. I was thinking it was there. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. So can you make that out there? They're called Hogs. Okay. Anyway, let's do some tapping. Ooh, it's a very low pitch. see what's the details on them. Says I think these computer glasses are not good for reading because they're only good for things that are about, well, between my face and the screen there is about all they're good for. Where's my little magnifying thing? Here you go, little magnifying glass guy. Come on. Alright, let's see if you can see. Will it do anything? There you go. There's my eyeball. Alright, here we go. So let's see what's on here. See if I can make this out. Okay. So for durometer, if you are into skateboarding or anything like that with these sorts of wheels, the durometer, what was it? Is 78A. 78A. That's actually pretty soft. Bigger number is harder. Right? So guys that do lots of tricks and stuff, they typically like harder wheels. But weird old men like me who just want to cruise are going to use softer wheels. And these are also, they got like a stone-worn surface, you know what I mean? So it makes for a good riding surface right off the bat. That's really nice. I don't know if you like that sound. That's a good sound. Let's slow it down, Bill. Okay, so there's the wheels. That's just 4 of these guys, right? I wish I could juggle. Right, juggle 4 wheels, right? Oh, there we go. Anyway, so there's the wheels. Oh, I just realized that red, black, and gold is the colors of the German flag, right? And Postman, that's a German name. My great-grandfather, I should say, immigrated here when he was young. And he was a German Jew. He left long before World War II happened, but yeah, I mean, like a lot of people, it's like, let's go to America, it'll be better. Okay, here's these. I don't know that I'm going to take them out again because I don't feel like I'm going to assemble this today. I might assemble it or record myself assembling it when the time comes. And I'll explain why I'm not assembling it here in a minute. But here we go. These are the bearings, right? So this is the things that you put into the wheels so that, they'll spin, right? I think that makes sense. Most people know about ball bearings and stuff. But they're in, you can kind of see there's that little red circle there. That's one of them, right? And the hole is where the axle goes through, right? Here, I'll take it out so you can see it a little better. And these are from a company called Independent. They make a lot of hardware stuff. I used to ride their stuff a lot. Well, a lot. I had one set of super wides, but I rode them frequently. Oh, the plastic's already opened up. Anyway, so you can see. There they are, so you can get a better look. And then there's the spacers. And I think where's the little, oh, there they are. This little box there has the little washer guys. Yeah, everything, man, nice. I like it when things are nice and new as far as this kind of stuff goes. All right, I want it to go this way, don't I? Oops, let's go the other way. Do it this way, so I guess that's how it opened. This box ripped it, didn't it, on the way out? Okay, doesn't matter. They're in pristine shape, so, and they're going to get used as soon as I get it on there. So, let's just tap on the box, why not? tapping on the box. Let's do some tapping on the box. Just really two more things. How long is this getting to be? Yeah, it'll just be about a half an hour, I think, when it all gets cut up. Oh, I haven't done any of the crinkling. I'll do that, and then we'll. So, yeah, let me do this first, and then we will do some crinkling. I guess there's a little bit happening anyway. So. This is just a tool. It has all the various nuts and things fit the various parts on skateboards, at least the common sizes, and most of the stuff is pretty common. And there's also this little tool. So some stuff has, like for, different screws for putting your deck, mounting the trucks onto your deck, right? So, oh, you know what? I'm going to go back for a quick sec. Let's get the trucks back, or at least one of the trucks. I'm going to try this. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that's good. Nice, okay. And let's put this back in. Right. See how it just kind of fits in there like that, right? And it comes out, right? You can see how it fits in there. That's nice. So you can, grip it really well for doing all the turns and stuff, yeah. Nice. Okay, so the last bag I have is the thing that will help me explain why everything is in the state that it's in. So, here's a bag of screws. Well, bolts, right? With nuts, right? I guess you can call them screws if you want. Anyway, these are the things that you mount the trucks to the deck with. Or you should be mounting the trucks to the deck with. So, I mean, it's just a basic screw, right, with a lock thing on the nut, right? And here, let me do this. Okay. Here's the deck. Here's the screw. All right, so I'll do it this way because you'll be able to see it better. It won't go through. It's like just a tiny force it through or something, you know. And I tried to call a couple of places, skateboard shops, to see if I could get a screw that was, you know, a little bit smaller than this that would go through this. And I even told them what the deal was. And one guy thought I was nuts. Another guy at a different place was really impressed that I was an old guy, almost 60, who was, you know, getting out his old late 70s or mid 70s, you know, Fiberflex. Anyway, so it's super frustrating. Anyway, the guy that was the most helpful was the guy that kind of was like, oh, wow, man, that's cool. You know what I mean? Anyway, he said that the skateboard companies are going to have everything. This is all standardized and they all use this. And so he said, you should probably just go to a hardware store and see if they got something that's, you know, just a little bit smaller. So hopefully there is. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do. I guess if there isn't, I'll have to do something about enlarging the holes, which I'm kind of loath to do, because if you get them, if you screw up the geometry, the trucks won't sit on the deck well. So it's a bit frustrating. So I got kind of angry and frustrated, and I just put the whole thing on a shelf and said, I'll do it later. And then, I'm so bad at managing my time, and I end up being so busy doing just whatever the nonsense is, that I just haven't made time to deal with this. So, anyway, there's the plight of Bill and his skateboard. Alright, let me put this back in. Oh, here, let's put the nut back on. And let's drop this back in here. That's a good crinkle. I really like this crinkle. I like this crinkle very much. This is another very, very good crinkle. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Guy, but some things I think I should keep neat. It just dawned on me that some of you may be wondering, why would an almost 60-year-old guy want to take up skateboarding again? Admittedly, part of it is, as you might guess, sort of motivated by a bit of nostalgia. But the other thing that I was thinking, well, that would be cool, wouldn't it, in my mind, right? Before I, decided to actually buy everything. And then the thing that pushed me into pulling the trigger was I watched a thing, I think it was on YouTube, frankly. I watch a lot of crap on YouTube. I shouldn't say it's not all crap. Anyway, a person was doing a short little video essay article kind of thing on, what was the whole thing was when? I guess it was about injuries and things like that. Anyway, the thing that stuck out to me was they were talking about that one of the things that older people often die from, it's like one of the biggest causes. I don't remember where it stood in line. It was like, first, second, third, or whatever, but it was, very impactful into people's lives. And, a lot of older people die from actually broken hips, believe it or not, complications from surgeries from broken hips. And the thing that is the biggest common thing for broken hips, obviously, is people lose their sense of balance as they get older. And so I said, I'm going to start riding a skateboard again because it will help me maintain and perhaps even improve my sense of balance. So anyway, there's kind of that thrust there, right? Yeah, anyway. So let's put this truck back into its bag. Okay. Get in here. Okay, I think that's going to be it for this episode of whatever this is. A little bit of show and tell, a little bit of trigger, a little bit of show and tell, a little bit of trigger, a little bit of trigger, a little bit of trigger, and mostly some showing. Well, I don't know. You could be the judge. Was it mostly triggers or was it mostly show and tell? And okay, I'm going to switch over through the magic of editing. I was going to lean over and speak into the mic. That's pretty silly, huh? Anyway, I guess that's it. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope if you needed sleep, you got it. And if you did, well, then you're not hearing me say this right now, are you? If you have watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. That improves my stats and all of that for the algorithm. I haven't done in a while. I haven't done a secret word. So what is today's secret word going to be? Light bulb. Today's secret word. Why am I doing that? I'm leaning over into the mic again. What in the world am I thinking? Okay, so hopefully they're not getting picked up by this mic. I don't think so. I think it's fine. Where was I at? I was thinking, today's word is light bulb. Alright, so there you go. If you're the first person to make a comment and include light bulb, like just, you could even just comment just the word light bulb, and that would be fine. But if you're the first, I will pin you to the top. Is that about it for today? I was thinking there was something else I was going to show you guys while I had all this stuff, but well, I can't remember, so I guess if I do remember, I'll just have to make another video, right? In any case,